Good evening to everyone out there in YouTube land tonight. I'm Joel LeBreton. We're here with the SkyCity Stampede versus Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals. Game 2 tonight after an amazing finish last night, seeing SkyCity Stampede pit the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals at the post. No doubt Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals will be coming out with a vengeance tonight to regain some face after playing a hard-fought game last night. Let's see here. All right, so let's start off with the lineups tonight. So for West Auckland Admirals, in Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals, in net we have Chubba Margosh, number 34. Defense, number 47, Justin Daigle. Number 2, Taylor Kennedy. Number 13, Andrew Hart. Number 22, Max Vesper. Number 28, Scott Henry. Starting lineup for Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals. For SkyCity Stampede, starting goaltender, we have number 35, Joel Gerard. On defense, number 28, Jet McCullum. Defense, number 6, Cameron True. On forward, right wing, we have number 22, Jordan Chalice. Centering up Jordan, we have number 21, Dylan Devlin. And on the left wing, we have number 14, Callum Burns. A few lineup changes tonight. I've noticed that for SkyCity Stampede, we have Stefan Amston out, who won't be playing tonight, which is a big loss for the SkyCity Stampede. We also have Jack Robbie out on a 2-game suspension after last night, so another big loss for the Stampede. West Auckland Admirals, looks like we have Mason Kennedy out, and also Patrick Schernitz is in the lineup tonight as well. So that's all the information I have. That's all I can give you. But no doubt we're going to be in for a spirited competition tonight with these two teams. After the fireworks you could see last night, a lot of physical battles behind the net, lots of finishing checks, some great passing, great defense and offensive plays in each other's zones as well. West Auckland Admirals are doing a very, very strong job of trapping the puck within the Stampede defensive zone, cycling it around, getting great opportunities. But as I said, in the end last night, SkyCity Stampede were the ones who walked away with the victory over the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals. All right, looks like we're about to get underway here. Those starting lineups, everyone coming out. Oh, looks like we have a slight change up here on the starting lineup. We have Callum Burns, number 14, on the right wing, matching up with Henry. Here we go, Devlin v. Vesper on the opening face-off of the night. Here we go, won by Vesper, back to Daigle. Daigle passes it across, chips it through centre. True picks that one up, bounces along, can't quite control by Devlin. Kennedy picks it up, wheels it around behind the net, back to Daigle. Daigle taking his time here, looking for some options. Vesper coming up the left side here. Big stretch pass, and it's going to go for icing. Vesper just couldn't quite control that one. All right, no changes for either team here. We're going to see Devlin and Vesper face off on this Wanaka Beer Works dot here. And another win by Vesper, back to Daigle, who elects to pull it behind his own net, take a little time, walk it out. Great job keeping in by Chalice there. And that's wheeled into the zone by Daigle. Give him time to get a bit of a change here. Devlin dumps the puck on net. Margosh sees that coming all day. Daigle picks it up. Marching it up here. Stephen Freer to Taylor. McIntosh through the middle. It's got Ross streaking through here. Great shot by Ross. Splayed a little wide. Freer keeps that in the zone. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh chipped into Freer. Freer to Freer. And Quigley gets a great pass through the middle. Stephen just can't whip that one out of the air. McIntosh passed that across to Taylor. Taylor takes his time. Wheels around to Freer. Freer looking up ice here. Through the neutral. Great job by Ross to corral that puck out of the air. Ross wins the battle back behind the boards. Wheels it up to point. Quick shot there from Taylor. Can't quite make it through. Quinn picks up one through neutral, but can't quite control it. And Jet McCallum into the corner. Taylor through to Ross. Ross sees McCallum through the middle. Great stick there by Kennedy to break up that pay. Rusky Jones gains the zone, gets a shot away. Great angled shot there, but Chubbo turns that one away. And that's going to go for icing. All right, and if anyone was paying attention to the NZIHL game between the Canterbury Inferno and the Wakatipu Wild, it was the Wild came back from a 1-3 deficit to tie it at 3-3, take it to overtime, and unfortunately looks like they've just lost in the shootout. So we have Canterbury with a 4-3 victory in a shootout over the Wakatipu Wild. Now back to the game at hand. We have Rusky Jones on the dot. Loses the draw. Quigley. Campbell wheels it around behind the neck to Rusky Jones. True picks it up. Steps in. Great pass through the slot. Campbell back around. No one behind the net there. Pick it up. Rusky Jones. Good hit on McLeish there. Rooney's going to collect that. Pass it out to Quigley. Quigley can't quite get through the zone. And we have a high sticking penalty here that is going to go to Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals, number 30, Quigley, high stick. So early power play here for the SkyCity Stampede. Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals going to look to try and close this one down here. Ross with a win to McCallum. McCallum walking the blue, cross to Chalice. Chalice down into the corner. Behind the net, pops one out in front. Ross can't quite get a stick to it though. Hart wheels it back behind to Daigle, can't control it. Just gets it back out. Oh, lucky bounce from the ref there to McIntosh. McCallum shot on net. McCallum on point. Cross to Chalice. Chalice back to McCallum. Shot through and Margosh. Chubba sees that one coming. Closes that down, gets a stoppage in play. We have 1 minute and 25 seconds left in this SkyCity Stampede power play or penalty kill, depending which side of the fence you're on. McIntosh with the draw, one to Chalice. Chalice wheels around behind the net, picked up by Freer. Ross along the boards. Ross cross to McCallum. McCallum cross to McIntosh. Great block there by Stephen. Down to Freer. Up to McIntosh. McIntosh to McCallum. McCallum with a one-time. Oh, loose puck in front, but Chubba gets the opportunity to get rid of that one. Weird bounce off the back that goes between Ashton Brooks' legs, and SkyCity Stampede are going to take this time to mount attacks. Colin McIntosh coming through the neutral into the blue. Walking through. Can't quite keep his footing. Still battling in front of the net. Admiral's doing a good defensive job here. Can't quite clear it out. McCallum collects that on the blue. Gets a shot away. Loose puck in front. Shot by Ross. Turned away by Chubba. Cleared out. Vesper chasing down McCallum. McCallum taking his time, and that will pretty much be the end of the power play. So good penalty kill by the NZ Pure Well, Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals there. Kennedy clears that out, and that one's going to go for icing unless Quigley can win this race here, which he does. Great chase down by Quigley there to win that battle against Clark. Harford and Clark battling in the corner there. Freer picks that up. McLeish with the puck back to Daigle. Daigle through neutral to Quigley. Can't quite hold on to it. Burns picks that one up off to Campbell. Daigle shuts that down at the blue line and dumped into the zone by Devlin, but unfortunately Campbell couldn't quite get himself back on side here. Both teams playing here with a lot of intensity tonight. As I said, neither one will want to be giving up a win or a loss tonight. Devlin on the dot. Won by Vespa, back to Kennedy. Oh no, sorry, that's Harford Jones. Haywood Jones. Up to Hart. Back round to Mawson. Mawson chips it out. Bad pass there. Burns picks that one off. Back to True, down to Burns. Behind the net. Chalice, Devlin. Oh, Devlin. Great move there by Haywood Jones. Close that off. Mawson through the middle, up to Vespa. Vespa to Hart. Hart can't quite keep. Mawson gets a great shot away there from the point. Picked up by Hart, wheels around behind the net. Tries to tuck it around on the short side. Brooks there to close that down. Hart still behind the net. Wheel it out to Mawson. Mawson with a shot from the point. Closed down by Aston Brooks. There's good sustained pressure there from Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals. Getting a few good opportunities there, starting with Hart wheeling it around, trying to stuff it short side with a wrap around. Wheeling it back out to point. Good shot from Mawson, but Aston Brooks up to the task. My apologies, everyone. I keep forgetting this. Joel Gerard in net tonight. Promising young Stampede player. Getting a start for SkyCity tonight. And well and truly up to the task. Oh, McIntosh up to Ross. Ross breaks it into the zone. Oh, McIntosh can't quite get a hold of it. Daigle passed through the middle by Stephen, picked off by Ross. McIntosh takes into the zone. He's got Ross and Freer with him. Pass down to Ross. Colin McIntosh with the puck again. Cross to Freer. Shot wide by Freer. Clark. Good opportunity, trying to keep it in the zone here. Long stretch pass out from Kennedy. Collected by Freer. Freer sees McIntosh on the far blue. McIntosh getting dogged by Rooney here. McCallum can't quite keep control of it. Rooney electing to dump that one in. Chased down by Moses. Moses on True. Quigley. Moses. Mawson with a shot. Rooney with a shot. Slightly wide. Quigley looking for the tip there. Haywood Jones doing a good job keeping it. The Admirals on the offense here. Rusky Jones streaking up the left side here. Gets a shot away. Goes wide and up into the netting. Both teams elect to get a line change. Devlin and Vesper here on the Wanaka Beer Works face-off dot. Won by Devlin. Quick shot from Burns. Steered aside by Chubba. Devlin battling behind the net. Hayward Jones and Mawson. Mawson walks away with it. Mawson through the neutral. Great pass there across to Hart. Hart back to Mawson. Can't quite get the shot away. Dangerous opportunity there. And that is going to go for... No, it's going to be a waved off icing there. Kennedy to collect behind the net. Cross to Daigle. Daigle looking up through the centre ice there. Hart can't quite hit Hart in stride. Devlin, bad pass through to Henry. Tips it off to Daigle. Daigle breaking into the zone. McCallum, great defensive job there. Passes up to Burns. Great shot back to McCallum. McCallum shooting from high blocker side, but can't stuff that one home. Chubba steers that up into the netting. We're going to have a stoppage in play and another face-off. We'll just take this quick opportunity to shout out some sponsors. SkyCity Queenstown, of course. LBRP Consulting. Carter's, Octa Project Management, Queenstown Health. We have True backing up here. Picked off by Daigle. Freer does a great job to get that through to McIntosh. McIntosh stands up Kennedy, gets to the corner. Tipped out there by Stephen. He's going to chase it down, but not quick enough to negate the icing, unfortunately. All right, the other, Cook Brothers Construction, long-time SkyCity Stampede supporters. Crete Works, WT Partnerships, James Allen Photography, punching out all those beautiful photos you see after the game. Media Works, Event Finder, and of course, Queenstown Ice Hockey Club. Without you guys, none of this happens. Freer, great shot there, steered away by Chubba, and that's going to go all the way back into the Stampede zone. Big stretch pass, and it's going to go all the way in the other direction, and that is going to be waved off icing. Daigle with the puck. Ross chasing both of them down behind the net here. Hayward Jones up to Quigley. Quigley loses the puck. McLeish picking up neutral. Hayward Jones looking through the middle to Quigley. Quigley can't quite gain the zone. Freer. McLeish picks that one off. Oh, no one can see the puck. There we go. Hayward Jones has picked that one up. Oh, Freer's picked that off, that pass off. Rolling shot. Margosh gets a blocker, gets a pad to that. Moses selects to dump it in and chase it down. Him and Campbell going strong towards the back boards there. Moses comes away with a great pass to Vesper. Joel Gerard getting that pad down and making a great save. Bounces all the way back down to Chubba. Daigle behind the net. Burns chasing down Daigle. Daigle elects to skate it up here. Gains through the zone. Gets closed down by Campbell on defense there. Freer up to Hutchins. Jesse Hutchins out on the ice now, bringing out the big hitters. Rusky Jones walking through that neutral zone. Jesse Hutchins right in front of the net there. Cross to McCallum. McCallum on point. Oh, gives it up, but Hart picks that one up. Hart behind the net. Great pass in front there to Vesper. Sorry, Henry. Couldn't quite stuff it home though. Henry with a puck along the boards here. Up to Regan. Regan through to Hart. Hart dumps it into the Stampede zone. Burns to pick it up. Wheels it back around to True. True behind the net. Bex to skate it up. True dumps her in behind net. Chase down by Devlin. Devlin does a great job. Soaks up a hit from Hayward Jones there. Hayward Jones comes away with the puck. Chipped out to Stephen. Stephen. Clark, great job to keep that within the Admirals zone. Good shot opportunity there by Burns, closed down. We have Quinn coming up the wing there. Freer gets the puck, closes it down. Freer behind the net. Pass up to Devlin. Long stretch pass to Freer that actually ends up as a shot on net. Devlin behind the net there. Daigle can't quite walk away with the puck. Ross getting heavily dogged there by Quinn and Quigley. Daigle behind the net with the puck. And he's going to quarterback this one, let these guys get some options moving. Daigle with some speed coming through the neutral zone and leaves the puck behind. And that's bounced out by Taylor up to McIntosh, who comes back the opposite direction. Gets a shot away and straight into the chest of Chaba. A capacity crowd here tonight. It's another sold out game in Queenstown here tonight. Crowd starting to get into it. We have 7:11 left in this first period and score remains 0-all. Kennedy wheel around to Henry through the neutral, picked up by McCallum. Pops it over to True. Up to Campbell, back to True. True cross to McCallum. McCallum through the middle. Just can't quite keep it. He does a great job to keep that one. Rusky Jones getting a late shot away there. Not sure what the whistle was. Must have been offside potentially. All right, we're going to have this face-off just outside with Rusty Jones losing the face-off draw to Vesper there. Vesper pops back to Mawson. Mawson coming up the wing. Harford through to McLeish. McLeish is going to dump it around behind the net. Collect by True here. True chips it up to Harford. Gives it away to Henry. Great sliding block there by True. Blocking Henry's shot there. We have Mawson up on the point. Another big block there by Harford. And we have a loose puck in front and a lot of extracurriculars going on here. Not sure what's going on here, but no doubt the refs will sort that out. All right, looks like we have a player from each team going into the box here. We have number 13, Hart from the West Auckland Admirals, and I believe Jet McCallum, number 28 from the SkyCity Stampede. So pure NZ West Auckland Admirals and number 13 Hart and SkyCity Stampede, Jet McCallum. All right. Like the refs are going to sort all this out. They've had their conversations with the captains and get back to playing some hockey. All right, we have 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. Well, this will be interesting. This is going to open up the ice a little bit for everybody. And the face-off is going to be down in the Stampede end. Nope, sorry, 5-on-5 hockey. My bad. I can count, I swear. Back to Kennedy on point. Kennedy chips it in. Ross with the puck. Coming up the side. Great stop there by Quinn. Vesper through the middle. Stephen, dangerous shot there. Oh, great save there by Gerard as it's come from behind the net and he's gloved it out of the air, negating what was to be a very dangerous opportunity. Daigle dumped in on net. Wheel back around. Daigle through the middle of Kennedy. Kennedy dumps it in. Admirals with control of the game so far. Clark can't quite clear it out. Gets another opportunity. Freer grabs that one out of mid-air. Kennedy's going to be there to collect that, and very unnecessary hit there by Daigle. And that is going to be an interference call on Justin Daigle, number 47 for the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals. Burns getting a shot in on net there. Bit of traffic in front with Free and Mawson. Cross to Chalice. Chalice, cross to Burns, back to Chalice. Burns taking up that quarterback role on the point. Cross to McIntosh, back to Burns. Great shot through by Burns. Steered aside by Chuba. Burns to McIntosh. McIntosh having a look. Another great save there by Chuba through much traffic. Ross. McIntosh. Walking the blue. Wheels it in. Great tip there from Ross. It's a beautiful set play by the SkyCity Stampede there. McIntosh is taking his time, skating through the slot, shooting slightly wide with Ross there just to tip it in and steer it home. So we have SkyCity Stampede 1, Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals 0, with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in this game. Oh, in this period, I should say. There's still plenty of game to come yet, folks. Don't worry about that. All right, we have Devlin Vesper on the face-off dot here. And win by Vesper to Stephen. Back to Vesper to Stephen. With Harford walking away from it. Devlin chips it in. Can't quite collect it. Rusky Jones elects to fire that one in on Chuba. Kennedy to collect. Up to Stephen. Devlin just can't quite keep it in there. Harford through middle. Freer. Across to Taylor. Through to Devlin. Can't quite keep that one. Daigle picks up. Comes around behind his own net. Daigle wheels it back around there to Kennedy. Chips it up to Quinn. Quinn getting that out of the zone. Henry chasing down Freer. And Freer puts the brakes on. Henry blows right by him. McIntosh with a big stretch to negate that icing. McIntosh comes out with it. Behind the net. Looking for some backup here. Oh, just couldn't quite keep that one. McIntosh still with the puck. McIntosh still with the puck. Leaves it for True. True chips it down to Freer. Freer out in front for McIntosh. Can't quite stuff it home. Chuba has that post covered. Another shot by Freer. Can't quite send that one in. Back to McIntosh behind the net. Pops it out for True, who can't get the shot away. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh getting hassled by Daigle here. And that is shut down. Burns across to McIntosh with a big stretch pass. Over to Freer. Can't quite hit him in stride. Quigley does a great job there on defense, shutting that down. Freer picks it up through the neutral. Back to Taylor. Back to Freer. Quigley doing a great job forechecking there. Devlin can't quite keep that one. Quigley taking it back into the zone before it can be cleared. So we're going to have a offside. And that's a win for Admirals with Hayward Jones electing to send that one down. No icing though. Quigley hit on Freer. Quigley getting it behind the net and giving it away back to Freer, up to Burns. Burns takes a look, passes through neutral here to Devlin. Hayward Jones and Devlin back to Rooney, who gets it out into neutral. Back to Chalice, who can't quite keep it in. He's going to have another look here. Oh, tries to walk through Quigley, but Quigley sees him coming. Quigley with a park. Round behind the Stampede net. Freer again hits the brakes. Passing over to Taylor. Taylor up to Burns. Mawson just couldn't quite keep that one, but walks away with it. Oh, robbed by Burns here. Great opportunity from Burns with the puck through to True. True can't get the shot away. Mawson picks it up. Mawson to Vespa. Vespa walking through True. True shuts him down. Harford up to Campbell. Oh, deflected pass there to True. And that goes past Rusky Jones. So we will have another icing. Have a shout out here to the West Auckland Admirals primary naming sponsor, Pure NZ, as well. It's good to see some sponsorship coming into the league. The more, the better. All right, we have a face-off here with Rusky Jones and Vesper. Won by Rusky Jones back to McCallum. McCallum looks back to True. True looks through the middle. Shut down by Henry, but Rusky Jones walks away with it. Battling with Daigle here for control of the puck. Campbell, nice little reverse hit there on Henry. Daigle elects to take a circle up and give the guys some time to... Oh, Daigle walking all the way in with it himself. Great pass in front, but Rusky Jones gets a hold of that one. Shut down by McLeish. McLeish takes that through the middle, gets over the blue, tries to dump it in, and comes off the stanchion. McLeish still with it. Hart, great shot in front there. And that is Ross with the puck. Going to take his time here. Hit McIntosh in stride. Back to Clark, who gets the shot away. Tip in front by Freer. McCallum. McCallum with the puck. And that is going to be the end of this first period here. Well, what can I say? That is some spirited hockey in both directions. Great opportunities from both the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals and the SkyCity Stampede. SkyCity Stampede leading this game after the first period, 1-0. We're going to take a short break and we will be back with some more spirited hockey in beautiful Queenstown. Thank you. All right, everyone, welcome back to this second period here in Queenstown Ice Arena with Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals versus SkyCity Stampede. Currently, SkyCity Stampede leading this game 1-0. Joel Gerard doing a great job back there in net for the SkyCity Stampede. And we're going to have our opening face-off here. Colin McIntosh v. Vespa, number 22. Won by Vespa, back to Daigle. Daigle takes it through, cleared away by Freya. Freya can't quite chip it through, gets it back to Daigle. Daigle across to Kennedy. Kennedy sending that one down for icing. Oh, Vespa versus McIntosh here on this face-off draw. Won by Vespa, back to Daigle. Daigle taking behind his own net. Giving everyone time to spread out here. Through the centre to Hart. Hart chips it across. Can't quite get collected through the middle there by Henry. Ross back across to McCallum. McCallum back to Ross. Ross streaking through the neutral here. Trying to avoid Daigle, back to McCallum. McCallum with a shot on net. Gloved down by Chubba, who then lets it go back into play. McCallum collecting that on the boards. Cross to True. True sending that one down low and then cleared out by Henry. Chased down by Hart. True's going to collect it, chip it back up to McCallum. And Daigle is going to do a great job tying that up against the boards and send that one into the Stampede zone. Collected by Devlin. Devlin back up to Burns. Mawson to collect in the Admiral zone. Mawson across to Daig. Daigle, big saucer pass through the middle to Quinn. Can't quite get it through the Stampede defensive line there. Daigle, great block by Clark there. And that is shut down by Joel Gerard. All right, we're going to have another face-off here on the Wanaka Beer Works face-off dot. Devlin versus Quigley. And won by Devlin. Back to Clark. Clark wheels around behind the net to Freya. Freya looking through the middle for Devlin here. Oh, great little stretch pass. Devlin with a beautiful shot on net. Chubba giving a rebound up. No one there to collect it. Hayward Jones sifts that one up to Quigley. Quigley walking through. Can't get through Clark. Great defensive effort here by SkyCity Stampede. Devlin behind the net. Pops it up to Burns. Burns chipping it through neutral to be collected by Chalice, who can't quite get a hold of it. Devlin robbed there. Quigley dumping into the zone. Chased down by Rooney. Freya wins that. Mawson, great job keeping it in the zone. And chipped out past Vespa there up to Harford. Harford can't quite get around Hayward Jones. Hayward Jones looking through the middle of Vespa. Vespa. Oh, sent offside. Vespa taking a little bit too long there. And unfortunately, Rooney just jumped the gun a little bit and crossed the blue there. All right, we're going to have this line of Vespa and Hart. Henry out there chasing the corner with True. True wins the race, wheels back around to McCallum. McCallum. Oh, Harford giving the puck up there to Vespa, who sends it through the slot. No one home. Kennedy to collect. Oh, great job by Rusky Jones there. Chased down by McLeish. Chubba steers that puck away out of danger. Hart and Vespa here. Hart chasing down McCallum. McCallum wins the race. Steaming through neutral here. McCallum still with the puck. McCallum taking it deep into the corner there. Back to Ross. Ross across to True. True down to McIntosh. McIntosh getting a shot away. Chubba shutting that one down. Again, a lot of back and forward hockey here so far in this second period. Neither team wanting to give up an inch in their defensive zone, and it's creating quite a lot of opportunities at both ends. McIntosh with a win. Back to Ross. Ross across to Clark. Clark giving that one up, but back to Ross. Getting heavily chased down here by Stephen. McIntosh and Ross. Back to Freer. Up to Clark. Clark through the middle. Picked off by McIntosh. McIntosh sends it in deep. Freer can't quite pick that one up. And Hayward Jones sending that through the middle. Regan up to Ross collecting that one, slowing things down. Big stretch pass through the middle. Hayward Jones sees that one coming. Walks into the Stampede zone, but can't quite gain too much ground past the blue. Freer with this up to McIntosh. McIntosh tries to walk around Regan, who lays him out. Daigle to collect that one behind the net and steaming through neutral here. Great pass through the Quinn, who can't quite control it as Freer sends it back into Mawson. Mawson getting chased down by Chalice here. Chalice, big job forecheck trying to close down Mawson here. Mawson gets the ground on him. Moses taps that one into the zone. McCallum looking for an outlet out of his zone here. Up to Burns. Burns just chips it out of the zone. Devlin Rooney chasing it down into the corner here. Devlin wins it up to McCallum. McCallum slowing things down here, taking time behind his own net. Moses steps up to the challenge. Up to Burns. Burns across to Chalice. Chalice loses it. Through neutral. True to collect. Who can't quite get it up to Devlin there. McCallum. Both heavily dogged by Henry and Vesper here. Oh, great little pass through the middle there. Campbell can't quite keep hold of it. And Vesper hit with a great pass through the middle there. Vesper still with the puck. Getting an opportunity here. Tries to go high glove side on Joel Gerard, but Joel Gerard says no. Rusky Jones back the other way. Tries to spin around Kennedy. Kennedy closes him down. Freer to collect in the Stampede zone. Freer. Long pass cut off by Kennedy through the middle. Campbell to collect. Vesper beats Campbell and gets shut down by True there. Wheels it around to Vesberg to collect. Tip through to the middle. Hayward Jones. Campbell can't quite close him down there. And shot away by Daigle. Patted down by Joel Gerard. Regan with the puck. Coming in behind the net. Tries to send it out in front, but it's closed down by Stampede. And that's going to get wheeled out of the zone here. Daigle through the neutral zone. And shut down by Campbell. Again, down behind Freer to collect. Puts the brakes on, blows past Quinn. Sent up through the middle to Regan. Campbell dumps it into the West Auckland zone. Picked up by Mawson. Sends a long stretch pass through the middle to Moses. Shot away there. Blocked down by Clark. Long stretch pass up to Freer. Rooney. Back across to McIntosh. McIntosh still with the puck. Gets it back to Clark, who tips it in on, sends it in on net. Ross trying another tip attempt there, but shut down by Chubba. Campbell sends that one in, and unfortunately it had already come out of the zone, so we're going to have a offside here. Well, long sustained section of play there from both teams. A lot of back and forward, a lot of opportunities both ways. Going to have McIntosh here facing off against Vespa. And Hart and Henry on each side for the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals. Back to Jet McCullum. Sends it through the middle to McIntosh, who sends it up to Ross. Ross gets a shot away and almost deflected back into the net by Justin Daigle there. Luckily, Chubba had the opportunity to glove that one out of the air. That was a very, very strange deflection. But Chubba up to the task. McIntosh off to Ross. Campbell, oh, tries to get a shot through, but that one's blocked down by Henry. Vespa picking up the puck. Vespa with a shot, shut down by Joel Gerard. Great save there. Sent back to Daigle. Daigle through neutral. Hayward Jones dumping it on net. Just patted away by Gerard. McCullum collect behind his own net. Walks around Hart. Picked up by Ross. Ross, big stretch through the middle. Picked off by Freer, who dishes across to McIntosh. And unfortunately, they were just a little bit offside there. Too quick for their own good. Both teams elect to get a line change. We have Devlin, Chalice and Burns out for the Stampede here. Burns, Devlin battling it through middle. Hayward Jones sends it across to McLeish, who's heavily dogged by Devlin. Picked up by Burns. Devlin still battling behind the net there. Burns with a great opportunity. Chubba gets that pad down and closes off the... Oh, shot by Chalice. Back out to Clark. Just can't quite collect it. Good work by Quinn there to get that over the blue line. And we'll get another stoppage in play and a face-off outside the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals zone. Devlin to take the face-off against Regan. Won by Devlin. Freer to pick up, dump it back into the zone. Devlin chasing the corner with Mawson. Quinn picks that one up. Burns can't quite control it either. Daigle, he's got some time and space here. Slips it through to Mawson. Mawson tries to send it through to Quinn, but can't quite get around the stick of Chalice. And that's going to be sent into the Admirals bench. So a little shout out to the officials here tonight. On the lines, we have Central Otago's Central Sports Official of the Year, Adam Nagy, Nick Flight, both Queenstown boys, and in the stripes, the referee, we have Ryan Hissong from Auckland. Wheeled around, we have Jesse Hutchins out there again, holding it down. McCullum can't quite clear that one out. McCullum, round to true. Hutchins with a great pass through the middle, picked up by Rusky Jones, who gets a great shot away that goes a little bit high. Pass through the middle there, up to Rooney. McCullum wins that foot race, beats Rooney. Oh, bad pass through the middle that Quigley almost capitalizes on. Quigley behind the net here. Can't quite get it out. Back to Daigle on the blue. Daigle walking it in behind the net. And I would say that Rooney is going to take that one for cross-checking in front of the net. Yep, number 35, Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals, Rooney. All right, we're going to see the SkyCity Stampede here on their second power play of the night. Let's see if West Auckland can continue, Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals can continue the trend of shutting down. McCallum across the Chalice. Chalice, oh, through the middle to McIntosh. Great stick there by Stephen to shut that pass down. McCallum across to McIntosh. McIntosh shot in, shut down by Daigle, sticked away. Freer behind the net. Freer up to McCallum. Can't keep it in though. And Stephen's got a step on. Joel Gerard taking the initiative there and great stick work. Oh, Stephen doing some fancy moves here to burn up some time on this penalty kill. And then we have Colin McIntosh coming through the neutral here. Big pass up to Ross. Ross is going to gain the zone. Back to McIntosh. Down to Ross. Ross to McIntosh. McIntosh through the middle to McCallum. McCallum across to McIntosh. Chips it back out. McCallum with a shot through the middle. Patted away by Chubba. Freer takes a hit from Kennedy. Kennedy comes away with the puck. And McCallum, great job keeping that in. Can't Daigle to collect it and send it all the way down. Collected by McCallum. McCallum, ooh, big pass through the middle there. And McIntosh wins that race. But that is a incorrect whistle there. And looks like we're going to have a face-off in the West Auckland Admirals zone. Yep, so it's incorrect whistle there. And we're going to have a face-off in the Admirals zone. All right, we have Devlin on the draw against Vesper with a win. Freer on the point. Passes across. Great block there by Hayward Jones. Another block by Vesper, who clears it down the ice. Joel Gerard electing to play it. Freer back behind the net to Burns. Burns slowing everything down, giving everyone a chance to catch up. Long stretch pass up here to Rusky Jones, who takes down one of the linesmen. Joel Gerard again. That was Nick Flight who got taken out there, but keeps on trucking. The pass up here through to Hayward Jones, through the middle. And that's going to be called offside. Regan there doing his best to gain the zone. And Dylan Devlin is going to take a penalty here. So we're going to go straight from a SkyCity Stampede power play to a SkyCity Stampede penalty kill. The Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals going on to the power play. Vesper with a draw. True, can't quite clear it out, so it ends up to Daigle. Daigle across to... Oh, and that gets sent home there. Great little read effect in front. Regan with the initial shot in, and it looks like it's been redirected by Vesper there. Amazing turn of events, and only 10 seconds of that power play needed for the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals to convert their first goal of the night, tying this game up at 1 apiece. 6:55 left here in this second period, and that is going to buoy up the Admirals faithful watching at home. True passes up. Daigle, oh, can't quite clear the zone. Freer bounces back in. Round to Daigle behind the net. He's going to like to take some time here. Up to Hart. Hart chips it up to Vesper, who sends it into Stampede zone. True chips it up to McIntosh. McIntosh trying to get around Hart. Can't. Cross to Clark. Clark up to Ross. Ross gains the zone. Has a look. Kennedy all over him. Shot in front there. But Chubba says no. Gloves that one directly out of the air. Great opportunity there from SkyCity Stampede. And Chubba Margosh up to the task. Face off Devlin. Devlin in front here. Mawson behind the net. Over to Hayward Jones. Back to Mawson. Mawson, far side over to Regan. Regan down into the corner. All the way around. Up to Mawson on the point. Does a great job to keep it in. Big tip in front by Stephen. But Joel Gerard had the opportunity to see it coming. Regan up to the point. Hayward Jones back to Regan. And Devlin, shut down there by Hayward Jones. Quinn with the puck back to Mawson. Mawson behind the net. Mawson heavily dogged here by Burns and Chalice. Hayward Jones behind his own net. Passing it up to Henry, who gets robbed by Freer. And that's gone all the way around to Quinn. Picked up by McCullum. McCullum skating through neutral here. Electing to dump it in. And that's picked up by Mawson. But Freer does a great job of getting the stick in that puck. Back to Freer. Freer round to Mawson. Cut off by McIntosh though. McIntosh with the puck. Cross to McCullum. Can't hit the one-timer. Shut down there by Quinn. Quinn up against the boards with Freer. Ross walks away with it. Ross to True. True back to Ross. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh behind the net. McIntosh can't get it out in front. With Freer behind the net, mixing it up with Mawson and McIntosh. Vespa. Ross. No, that's Freer who gets hit. And who have we got going here? Looks like we have Hayward Jones going to the box, number 9 for Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals. I just missed the signal. It looked like a high stick perhaps. All right, looks like we're trading penalties back and forth now, which no doubt in such a tight game as this, tempers are always going to run high, and mistakes will be made on both sides of the coin. 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in the second period. Scores tied at 1 apiece. We're going to have SkyCity Stampede here on a power play. Ross can't quite win the puck there. Great job by Vespa holding strong. Blown out of the zone here. McIntosh take it through neutral. Collect. He's going to walk it in. Get a shot away. Is whistle wide. McCullum keeping it on the blue. Sends it down to McIntosh. McIntosh cross to McCullum with a one-time shot. Streams through traffic but goes wide. McCullum again. And he's just chipped that over into the SkyCity Stampede bench. Minute 31 left in this power play here with SkyCity Stampede sending it to McCullum. McCullum across to Chalice. Chalice back to McCullum. McCullum across to C-Mac, who one times it, sends it wide. Joel Gerard to collect behind the net here. McCullum up to McIntosh. McIntosh taking the zone. Ross to McIntosh. Cut off there beautifully by Daigle. Ross picks it up. Devlin trying to send the pass across. Patted down and sent through by McIntosh into the net. Straight through the 5-hole of Shaba Margosh there. All All right, 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in this second period. SkyCity Stampede take the lead 2-1 over the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals with a goal there by Colin McIntosh on the power play. Devlin take the draw against Vesper. Won by Vesper back to Mawson. Mawson chips it up to Hart. Clark hit by Clark, and big open ice hit from Mawson there on Rusky Jones. And it looks like Clark is going to take a 2-minute here. And then Mawson is also going to take a 2-minute, I assume, for interference. Not sure what Clark's going to get. Potentially cross-check. You might have to check the game notes there, people. I'm not quite sure what the subsequent penalties were. Potentially interference on both sides, but don't quote me on that. Oh, let's take this opportunity while the referees are discussing to thank some of the sponsors. So we have SkyCity Queenstown as one of our main sponsors, naming sponsors here, as well as, you know, Pure NZ, naming sponsor for West Auckland Admirals. LBRP Consulting, Carter's, Octa Project Management, Queenstown Health, Cook Brothers Construction, Crete Works, WT Partnerships, James Allen Photography, Media Works, Event Finder, and the Queenstown Ice Hockey Club. We have 5-on-5 hockey here. Up to Quinn. Across to True. True sends it back to Chalice through the middle, picked up by Quinn. Daigle working it through the neutral zone there. Gets a shot away. Beautiful shot there. Joel Gerard gets a pad down. Great save. Back through the zone. Regan gets shut down by Rusky Jones. Hayward Jones. Big stretch pad there from Joel Gerard. Regan and Devlin battling in the corner. Picked up by Chalice. Chalice getting heavily dogged by Stephen here. Regan doing a great job keeping that in the zone. Chalice looking for a big stretch pass up to McIntosh here. Daigle trying to sneak through. Does a great job. Gains the zone. Works it around. Tries to slip it through. And that is sent home by the West Auckland Admirals. Quinn from Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals sending home the rebound after the initial shot from Justin Daigle. That was a great opportunity there. Quinn did an amazing job to jump up on that rebound after Daigle skated up the left side, gained the zone, got that initial shot away. Joel Gerard's made an outstanding initial save, but Quinn just sliding in there like he was sliding into home plate to bury that one home. Big stretch pass straight through the middle to Ross. Oh, sends it high. With some very, very fancy footwork. So we have SkyCity Stampede 2 to Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals 2. Tie game here with 1 minute and 31 seconds left in this second period. Left behind by McIntosh. Vesper picks up that loose puck. Tries to send it through. McIntosh, great job sending that across to Ross, who shoots it wide. Picked up by Freer, though. McCallum. Almost knocked off the puck by Vesper there. Great pass from behind the net by McIntosh there. Avoiding a check, getting the pass away, sending it out to Ross, who can't quite send it home, with Chubba getting all over that shot. We have McIntosh and Vesper on the face-off dot here. Won by McIntosh. Over to Ross, out to McCallum. McCallum sending a high one in there. Around to Burns. Burns to McIntosh. McIntosh sending it out to Ross, who can't quite keep control of it. Back to McCallum. McCallum across to Burns, back to McCallum. McCallum sending one home. There's a lot of traffic there, blocked up. Ross fighting for it against Hayward Jones against the boards there. Hayward Jones walks away with it. Likes to wheel it behind the net to McLeish, who's going to march it up through neutral zone here. Try and hit Vesper in stride, but he's robbed. Oh, great feat by Hayward Jones there. McCallum can't quite keep it in the zone. Burns chasing it down. McCallum picked it up through neutral. Put down by Henry. Chalice chipping it in past McLeish. Devlin. Oh, great work by McLeish there to clear out of the zone. Picked up by Regan. Henry's streaking down the side, getting a great shot away there. Sorry, that was Quinn, not Henry. Looking for number 2. Streaking in on that left side and getting an amazing shot away. Joel Gerard up to the task, though. Oh, Regan losing that face-off draw there. Daigle taking out through neutral. And that is the end of our second period here. SkyCity Stampede 2 to Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals 2. I think it's fair to say we are going to have an extremely exciting third period here. So go to the fridge, grab yourself some Wanaka Beerwork brews, and we will see you back soon. Brain blank there for a second. All right, everyone out in YouTube land, welcome back to what is set to be a cracking third period here at Queenstown Ice Arena. We have the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals versus the SkyCity Stampede, currently tied up 2 apiece. We are ready to rumble. Well, hopefully not too much rumbling. I think both teams really need to stay out of the box this period because, in my opinion, that is going to be the key to the game. No more penalties, because that's going to be the difference in tonight's game. All right, looks like we're about to get underway here. The referees are just taking a little bit of extra time to scrape out these creases, get rid of a little excess water from behind the nets. Linesman doing a little bit of fancy skating around there with the squeegees. A big shout out to our sponsors, as always, SkyCity, Queenstown, LBRP Consulting, Carter's, Octa Project Management, Queenstown Health, Cook Brothers Construction, Crete Works, WT Partnership, James Allen Photography, Media Works, Event Finder, Queenstown Ice Hockey Club, and for the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals, Pure NZ. All right, looks like we just got a slight delay here. Another capacity crowd here at Queenstown Ice Arena tonight for this matchup. As I said before, third period, 2 goals apiece. Definitely the key to this game is going to be who can stay out of the box. We've seen both teams be punished on the power play tonight, or on the penalty kill, I should say. And yeah, it's really gonna tell the tale of which team can show more discipline. No doubt we're in for some fireworks, I'd say. And let's get ready to rumble. Here we go. Face off dot. All right. Yes. All right, a slight delay here. Seems to be an issue with the lights, and the crowd goes wild as we have a face-off here. Colin McIntosh and Jet McCullum pick up the puck, send it up to Ross, who breaks it into the net here. Ross and Kennedy, Henry up to McCullum, McCullum through neutral. Kennedy with the puck, passes it across to Daigle, who can't quite control that. Hart does a great job picking that up, which turns straight back to McIntosh. Dishes it across to Freya, who can't quite control that puck. Tries to wheel it back around to McIntosh. McIntosh with the puck out to Freya, and that's just gloved out of the air by Chubbo, but he's let it slide back behind the net. Back through neutral here, picked up by Vesper, who elects to dump it in, and quick skates by Hart there to pick up that puck, waiting for some reinforcements. Tries to stuff it home on the short side there. Hart and Devlin. McCullum clearing that out to neutral. Mawson picking that up, sending it across to Hayward Jones, who dips it into Regan. Regan looking through the middle for Stephen, who can't quite get a shot away. Burns is going to take that puck, send it through the middle And it's actually going to go on net, so there'll be no icing. Hayward-Jones passing up to Quinn. Quinn, big hit through neutral there by Devlin. Mawson getting hit by Rusky Jones against the boards. Chalice trying to send it through the middle. Chuba closes that down. Hayward-Jones behind the net. Burns chips it back in. Chalice coming out of the zone. Zone's clear. Mawson picking up again behind his net. Misses it. Chalice tries to collect that, but sent through to neutral. McCallum with the puck. Sends it up to Chalice, who drips it back through to Rooney. Moses chasing in the corner. Freer wheeling it back around there to Chalice. Chalice, long stretch pass through the middle to Freer, who can't quite control it. Picked up by Daigle in the Admirals zone. Admirals behind the net. Stretch pass through the middle. Shut down by Freer. McIntosh collects it in neutral. Takes his time. Tries to get a pass through to Ross, but closed down by McLeish. Ross up to point to Freer. Freer with a wide shot on net. McCallum with another shot, and that is gloved out of the air by Chuba. Already seeing both teams starting to play with a bit of intensity again into this third. As I said, the discipline is going to be the key to this game right now. 17 minutes and 18 seconds left in the game. Colin McIntosh losing the draw. Hayward-Jones and him battling against the boards. Double teamed by Vespo and Hayward-Jones, who come away with it. Daigle to collect behind the net. Hayward-Jones skating it out of the Admiral zone up to Henry. Henry with a great shot. Big rebound there by Joel Gerard, and hustle in front of the net, and that is tucked home by Henry. Great battle in front of the net there to gain control of that. Initial shot well covered by Joel Gerard. He's let that rebound come out. Defense wasn't able to clean up the mess in front of the net, and Henry has won that battle and sent it home. We have the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals up 3 to SkyCity Stampede 2. That's chipped in by Kennedy, steered away by Joel Gerard. Quinn on the boards, trying to gain control. Hayward-Jones, little chip pass in front, but cleared out by the defense. Clark takes a little time here, sends it through neutral. Picked off by Stephen, who gets a shot away. Great save there by Gerard. And Harford sends it up to Devlin. Devlin can't quite keep control of it. Mawson through neutral. Loses it to Chalice. Chalice sends it up to Freer. Loses it to Kennedy. Big battle behind the net there. Freer just can't clear it out. And that's sent up to Henry. Through the middle to Burns. Burns slips it through. Picked up by Vespa. Freer battling Vespa there, trying to get a control of the puck. Henry chips it through to Freer in neutral. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh cross to Ross. Ross with a shot, rings off the post. And Freer, great job there to keep that in, but it's cleared back out to Henry, who loses it through neutral to Freer and then jumps on that loose puck there. Oh my God, that was a great turnaround pass there by Hart. Amazing save by Gerard. McCallum trying to battle, can't beat Hayward-Jones. Hayward-Jones to Hart. Hart through the middle, and Rusky Jones trying to gain the zone through 4 Admirals defense. Still working hard there and does a great job because Devlin picks it back up and taken away by Stephen, who finds Hart through the neutral zone there. Hart elects to dump it in and get a change. Chased down by Stephen, who wins the battle against Freer. McCullum behind the net. Regan off the post from behind the net. Regan looking for a short side shot there. Gerard closes that down. We have Chalice taking time here behind the net, leaves it for McCallum. McCallum skating up over to Devlin, who throws a pizza through the middle. Regan grabs that one. Rusky Jones can't quite beat him. Regan still with the puck, and that's cleared out. Stampede get a change as McLeish collects in neutral. Skates through, dumps it in, chased in by Moses on Burns. Burns and Moses battling in those backboards. Devlin and Moses. Moses gets the pass away to no one. Freer and Quigley battling there with Burns. Quigley and Burns tied up against the backboards there. Moses and Devlin. Quigley comes away with it. Still can't get the pass away. Moses tries to chip it out in front. Oh, great little stick there by... And... Oh, Ross just can't quite convert that one. Great job by True to keep that in. Freer stuffs that one out of the air. Mawson can't get around True. Ross back to McCallum. McCallum controlling, sending through neutral over to Freer. Freer chips it in on net. Elects to get a change as McLeish collects it behind the net. And McCallum can't get to that one. Icing's going to be waved off. Freer picks that up. Back to McCallum. McCallum up to Chalice. Chalice loses it to Henry, who then fluffs the pass. And that's get picked over through the middle by Rusky Jones, who loses control at the blue line. Devlin and Rusky Jones regroup. Daigle skating through neutral here. He's got the wheels and shut down by Stampede defense. Rusky Jones can't quite get around Henry there. Hart steaming towards the net, tries to stuff it past Gerard. Gerard puts the pad down and says no. Vesper behind the net, trying to chip it out. Can't get it around McCallum. Wheels around Freer, picking up on the dots. Stretch pass through to McIntosh, who sends it back to Rusky Jones, who sends it back to McIntosh. McIntosh seeing it through, tip in front, sent wide. And that is Quinn, who gets rubbed out against the boards there. Sends it back to Daigle. Daigle up to Kennedy, who elects to take a very long-range slap shot. Burns chipping up to Freer. Sends it up to Ross. Ross heavily dogged by Quinn. Ross round behind the net. Still with it. Mawson sent in by Clark. McIntosh taken to the ground by Stephen. Sent across the middle to Burns. Gets a shot away. Great tip attempt in front by Freer there. Can't send it home as Margosh gets the pad down. And that is going to be sent up into the rafters. Wow, there is no quit in either of these teams' hockey in this third final period tonight. 11 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock. Pure NZ, West Auckland Admirals 3, SkyCity Stampede 2. Freer with the puck, sends it through neutral, up to Devlin, who gets stopped. This is going to get walked in here by Quigley, who gets a little backhand shot away on net, but Joel Gerard is up to the task. McCallum with the puck. McCallum behind the net, coming up, electing to skate it out of the Stampede zone. He's going to go for a skate here. And that is unfortunately offside. Little miscommunication there from the Stampede. All right, 10 minutes and 44 seconds left in this third period here. McIntosh loses the draw to Vesper, sends it back to Kennedy, who's going to wheel around to Daigle. Back to Kennedy. Oh, coughs it up to McIntosh, who wheels it back around to Ross. He's going to send it back out to True on point. True back to Ross. Ross up to True. True with a shot in on net. Freer, a lot of traffic in front here. Can't quite get it out. Not covered by anyone. And Hart is going to walk that one out of the zone, but McIntosh does a great job of keeping that in the zone. Tries to walk around Daigle here, and that blows the zone out to True. Burns to collect, send it through the middle, picked off by Daigle, who gets a shot away. Beautiful block there by True. Great save by Gerard. Daigle, again, doing it all himself. Tries to backhand it through. Little confusion here from Stampede. Rusky Jones to collect. Sends it across to Devlin, who's going to collect it behind the net here. Tied up by Hayward Jones. Stephen to collect. Sent up to Quinn, streaking up the left side here. He's got the speed. Wheels around behind the net. Tied up by McCullum. Chalice's collect back to McCullum. McCullum taking his time here to assess the options. Devlin skating it out of the Stampede zone. Sends it through the middle. Regan picks off that pass through neutral. Sends it back to Quinn on the point. Devlin trying to out-muscle Quinn. Admirals walk away with the puck. Regan behind the net, battling with Freer here. Regan tries to send it home, but Gerard puts his glove over that one, and we're going to get a face-off in the Stampede zone. Yeah, Vesper and McIntosh on the face-off dot here. Won by Vesper, I believe, in that one. Burns wheels it back around. Oh, big shot in front there by Henry, who can't quite corral it. McIntosh sending it back through the middle. Burns chasing that one down, but it's going to go icing. Tied Admirals line out here, who are going to have to stay out here a little bit longer. Top Stampede line out here of McIntosh, Ross, McCallum, and Freer. Ross with the puck. Up to Freer. Chips it around to McIntosh. Heavily dogged there by Vesper. Sent back in by McCallum. Freer to McIntosh. McIntosh up to McCallum. McCallum on point. Sends a shot. Blocked away there by Hart. Vesper chips it into the zone and elects to get a change. Hart chases down McCallum. Leaves it for Freer. Freer sends it up to Ross. Sends a shot in on Margosh there, which is funny, bounce off the backboards. Freer sends it back in. Devlin hassling Mawson. Stephen chips the puck out. It's chased down by Freer. He's got Regan with him. Stephen chips that one in, and that's going to hit the rafters. And we'll have a face-off outside of the Stampede zone. I'll take this opportunity to give a quick shout out to all the volunteers and sponsors who make these games possible. Anyone who volunteers their time and effort and hard-earned dollars to make this league what it is, we salute you. Good pass out there. Burns to pick it up in the Stampede zone. Great pass through to Rusky Jones. He's got space. Tries to backhand it while being heavily defended by Mawson and can't quite get a strong shot away. Good effort, though, for him to break past the D there. But Mawson just could lean on him enough so he couldn't get the shot away on Chubba. Round behind the net to Kennedy there. Dogged by Devlin. And Hayward Jones passes it quickly to 1-2 there. Quigley cross back to Quigley. Can't quite keep the pass. It was a bit too spicy from Moses there. And that's chipped out of the zone there by Burns. Hayward Jones to collect. Send a big stretch pass up to Chalice. And that's sent to Freer, who sends it up and over the glove of Chubba, but not on net, unfortunately. Rooney chips it out into the Admirals bench. Going to have a face-off here just outside the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals zone. Oh no, we're going to take it down on the Wanaka Beer Works face-off circle here. Macintosh v Vespa, and that's won by Macintosh. Freya to collect. Ross taking his time on the boards here. Sends it through the middle to McCallum, who just can't quite get a shot away. He's tied up by Mawson. It's back to Macintosh behind the net here, who's going to chip it out to the point to McCallum. McCallum walking the line. Gets a shot away. Good block in front there by Daigle. Can't get it through the traffic. Sends it up to Henry. Henry, oh, big stretch pass to Hart, who was just hanging out on that blue line there. Nice pass through the slot to Daigle. Daigle wheels around behind the net. Back to point, cross to Mawson. Mawson snapshot away. Joel Gerard with a great save there. Hart working it along the Zamboni doors there. And walked out by Ross. Ross streaking through the neutral zone here. Leaves it for Freya. Can't quite get onto the puck. Macintosh to collect. Wheels it around to Freya. Macintosh along the boards. Macintosh turns. Waits. Shit pass to Chalice. Chalice sends it through the middle, and Daigle picks that one off. Back to neutral. Clark to collect. Skates it through. And taken by Hayward Jones. Hayward Jones wheels it around. And collected by Quinn behind the net. Quinn still with it. Quinn up to Kennedy. Kennedy drops it back in to Henry. Battling along the boards here with Quigley. Quinn keeps it in. Stephen. Oh, a lot of back and forth here. Back to Burns. Sends it through the middle to Chalice, who sends it up to Rusky Jones. Finds a great seam through the neutral there. Rusky Jones skating through. Needs some backup here. And he gets tied up along the backboards by Kennedy. Big hit in the middle. McCallum Quinn has gone down there. And we're going to get a stoppage in play. Get a stoppage in play here. Quinn is on the ice. We have the trainers out assessing him currently. Referee, linesman, and the captains from both teams down here just having a discussion. Oh, it's good to see Quinn skating back to the bench after a solid knock there. All right, we're going to have a face-off just outside the Stampede zone here. Vesper and Macintosh. Free across to McCallum. McCallum skating it up ice here. Into the zone. Gets a shot away. Blocked. Back to Freya. Freya shot through traffic. Hits the side of the net. Daigle sends the puck out. Ross with the puck. Through the middle to Macintosh. Macintosh has got time. Tries to slip it home. Can't get it in there. McCallum skating back to the Stampede zone. Picking up the puck. Got Hart there with him. Freya chipping that into the Admiral zone. Daigle to collect behind the net. Freya picks that one off at the blue line. Sends it back to Daigle. Daigle again taking his time. He's going to elect to skate it out of the zone here and circle back. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this third period here. Admirals taking the opportunity to run some time off that clock as much as possible. Big stretch pass up to Hart. Can't collect. It's picked off by True. True collecting that puck, taking it through neutral, gains the zone. Back to Rusky Jones. Rusky Jones, great stick work there walking around. And that is sent into Chubba. Burns picks that one up and, oh, it slides wide here. And we have a penalty upcoming here. Not sure what it's going to be, but no doubt it'll have something to do with the carnage in front of the net. Roughing, okay. We have Captain Justin Daigle, number 47, going to the box for roughing. And that is going to put Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals on the penalty kill here with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Currently leading 3-2. We're going to see the SkyCity Stampede power play click here and see what we can do. There's a great clearance there from Stephen. Did a good job to keep that out. McCullum trying to skate it out. Stephen doing a great job forechecking here and shutting down the start of this power play. Ross with the puck, skating through neutral. Ross still with the puck, sends it across to Freer. And that's gone up and hit the roof. So we're going to have a face-off here on the left-hand side of this SkyCity Stampede zone, the West Auckland Admirals zone, excuse me. Ross wins the puck out to McCallum. McCallum taking his time here. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh seeing it through. Great block there by Vespa. Across to McIntosh again. Tips it through. Looking for the tip in front from Frere, but can't quite get it through Chubba. Joel Gerard sends that one up to McCallum, who sends it across to McIntosh. McIntosh skates through, gains the zone. McIntosh gets a shot away, blocked out by Kennedy though, and that couldn't be kept in the zone by Chalice. That's going to head back to McCallum. Minute and 37 seconds left in this period. McIntosh gains the zone, sends it to Ross, and that is blocked off a stick and sent up to the roof. Minute 29 left in this game here. Pure NZ, West Auckland Admirals lead the game 3-2. 38 seconds left in the power play or penalty kill, depending which side of the fence you sit on. Can it get any more exciting than this? All right, we have a SkyCity Stampede timeout here. No doubt hitting the drawing board, drawing up a play to see what they can get going here. We're going to have a face-off here on the Wanaka Beer Works face-off dot. Have Colin McIntosh lining up against Regan. Oh, great clearance there by Stephen, and it just rolls wide of a Stampede empty net. Chipped around to Ross. Ross to collect. Empty net for SkyCity Stampede, looking for the extra skater. Ross gains the zone. Wheels behind the net, heavily dogged by two Admirals players. Chalice to collect. Mawson going in strong here. Ross comes out with it, across to Freer. McCallum to collect. Sends it across to Chalice. Chalice, Daigle out of the box. Cross to McIntosh, cross to Ross, back to McCallum. McIntosh loses the puck behind the net. Mawson can't control it. Pops back out to McCallum. McCallum streaking around here. Soaks up the hit. Back to Chalice. Chalice sends one in. McIntosh to collect. 21 seconds left. McIntosh sends a shot through, and that's gloved out of the air by Chubba. Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals fighting through that power play to maintain their 3-2 lead. And now we have the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals calling a timeout. Absolutely barn-burning hockey here on a Saturday night in Queenstown. No doubt Stampede will continue to leave their net empty with a total of 17 seconds left on the clock. You can see if Stampede can pull a rabbit out of the hat here and tie this game, or will the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals maintain their 3-2 lead? Ross on the face-off draw. Out to McCallum. McCallum sending it through. Skims wide. Back to Chalice. Chalice chipping around to Freer. Freer wheels around behind the net to McIntosh. McIntosh, 3 seconds left in this game, and collected by Admirals. And Admirals take the victory here tonight in a hard-fought game against the SkyCity Stampede. Wow, what an absolute barn burner of a game here tonight in Queenstown. We have the Pure NZ West Auckland Admirals taking a 3-2 victory over the SkyCity Stampede on home turf after losing last night. That's a solid effort there. We're going to have both teams come through and do their handshake lines. All right, I hope everyone out there in YouTube land has enjoyed the game tonight. My name's Joel LeBreton. Thank you for watching our stream and listening to the commentary, and we will see you again for the next game. Good night.